I've been a fan of pandas for all my life. I've always wanted to cuddle a cub and get close to a panda in the wild. On my Chinese journey, I'll meet other extraordinary creatures too. It won't be easy finding one of the world's most elusive creatures. Join me on my travels in China for Panda Week. I'm in China on a panda quest. Last time I met some old friends. And they've certainly grown. These cubs at Chengdu's panda base are 15 months old. I found an unusual city slicker, a striped-tailed rat snake.
Yeah, that's no problem.
And climbed skyward for views of a creature of legend, the golden tarkin.
This is the nursery stroke intensive care unit.
I discovered that if pandas have twins, both babies can survive. But only if mum is given a helping hand with feeding. The main objective of my Chinese mission is to see a panda in the wild. To do that, all my senses need to be tip-top. I've come to Chinley Street to give my ears a tune-up.
Here we go.
Power duo.
Strikes fear into my heart. The ultimate ear cleaning. Hello, how much?
Yeah. How much? 20.
20. Okay.
This is an ancient Chinese art.
This room's a little scary. How far is that going to go in? This is vital, though. I need acute hearing to find those wild pandas. Ooh, it's a very strange feeling. Oh! Oh! Strange noise, as if he's mining into my head. Oh. He's sort of got to grin and bear this. Oh, this is a nice bit. Bit of head and ear massage.
After my session of tower duo, sounds do seem clearer.
Oh, okay.
Great, thank
Okay.
you. I can hear brilliantly now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There we go.
Oh.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Close to the city of Chengdu is Mount Imei. I'm going there to seek mystical help with my panda quest. High on the mountain, there's a fantastical object thought to bring good luck to those who lay hands on it. I'll try anything if it could help me set eyes on a panda in the wild. Buddhists first visited this holy mountain about 2,000 years ago. Pilgrims have been coming here ever since. But all these travellers attracted a criminal element.
Now for some monkey business. Imei Shan is famous for these Tibetan macaques.
Mountain monkeys that can live 2,500 metres above sea level. They like to be well groomed. Their thick fur coats keep them warm in the cool, damp conditions. Males have pale complexions. Their blushing brides are more red-faced. They mainly eat fruit, but also consume seeds, leaves, berries and flowers, as well as insects. For young monkeys, trees are a jungle gym. There's always an adult or two looking out for them. Other macaques are specialists in daylight robbery.
This is a big male. And he's seeing if I've got any food. They're pickpockets. Pilgrims have been travelling the mountain for the last couple of thousand years. The monkeys realised it was much easier stealing from pilgrims than looking for food in the forest. Now they're fed by tourists or steal from them. Hey!
A sentinel watches and waits for the weak and unwary. The macaques often pick on women or anyone with a shoulder to lean on. Big males are imposing and not to be messed with. They can weigh up to 20 kilograms, as much as a full-grown bulldog. For most people, running this gauntlet is a scary prospect. To ward off attacks, tourist groups have minders with sticks. For some, it's all too much. The monkeys will defend stolen goods tooth and nail. If a monkey feels tricked or shortchanged, you risk a smack.
Every pocket is checking out, looking in there. Oh!
These babies will learn from their mother and grow up to a life of crime. Too young at a time is very unusual.
Tibetan macaques normally just have one baby. This mum's got twins. They were born about 6 months ago.
So this is their first autumn.
They normally give birth in December or January.
These monkeys are busy picking up corn from the path, so hopefully they'll let me continue on my journey. I'm on my way to a sacred object. Just touching it could bring me the luck I need to see a giant panda in the wild. After the break, my holy grail. Yimei Mountain in central China, home to mischievous monkeys. For 2,000 years or so, Tibetan macaques have scrounged or stolen food from pilgrims and tourists. My own pilgrimage is to touch a wondrous object.
Oh, haven't counted the steps. So many of them, all the way up to the temple. It's a grueling climb, but it will be worth it if it brings me luck in seeing a panda in the wild.
I've literally got a mountain to climb. There's 15,000 steps in all.
Long Life Temple, it's the oldest surviving Yimei temple. The giant statue inside I need to touch is over 1,000 years old.
The fragrance of these candles is a sign of respect to Buddha. Pilgrims light them to pray for peace and prosperity. The guardian of this sacred mountain was one of Buddha's right-hand men.
The protector of the mountain used to ride on an elephant. This statue is dedicated to him. It's vast, weighs over 6 tons, made of copper and bronze, and it rises to a height of over 8.5 meters. To bring me luck, I need to touch the elephant's leg. Please help me find a wild panda.
Between you and me, I cheekily wished to see 2 types of panda. Will the elephant bring me enough luck for both? Wawu Mountain, home to the smaller red species of panda, isn't far from the temple. Now I'm at the peak. It seems touching the elephant's leg has brought bad, not good luck. A thick mist has rolled in, giving me little chance of spotting a red panda. Earlier in the year, I saw captive ones at Chengdu's panda base. Like giant pandas, red pandas are bamboo specialists, but as you can see, they love fruit too. I'd love to see one in the wild, but for now, the mountain seems to be conspiring against me.
Until this mist disperses, this is an impossible task. Can't see to the treetops where the red pandas will be sleeping or playing.
But then my luck changes. The wind picks up and the mist begins to clear.
This is a perfect home for red pandas. There's an understory of bamboo, thin-stemmed, just what they like for their main course. Wonderful trees, there they can find their dessert of fruit and berries. The trees are also a place to hide and a place to sleep. There's no easy answers to this. From the reports we've got, the red pandas can be anywhere. I'm keeping my eyes skinned, looking in the treetops for a patch of red fur or a hanging tail. I'm also checking patches of bare ground, particularly near bamboo. I've got a picture of red panda scat on my phone. It's very distinctive, bright green pellets. None here. Haven't found any all day. Starting to imagine red pandas now. Every patch of red leaves, bit of moss, they all look like a panda.
The mountain top covers 11 square kilometres, so even when it's clear, finding a red panda is a formidable task. Huaoshan Mountain is a magical place. It's been fun looking for its red pandas, but they eluded me. Seeing one in the wild is still on my mammal wish list. It would be great to see one of these cat-sized animals in the trees, balancing with its bushy tail, foraging for flowers and buds. But as you know, my ultimate dream is to meet a giant panda in the wild. We're going to make one last attempt to see one now. Fingers crossed, touching the back leg of the magic elephant will bring me luck. My search will be concentrated in central China's Qinling Mountains. Foping Reserve to the northeast of Yimeishan has the highest density of wild pandas on the planet. Pony Express is the only way to get supplies in and out of the reserve HQ. Our camera equipment is weighty, so to spread the load, we rope in 7 ponies.
You've got a lot of weight on your back, haven't you?
High in the mountains, Sangguan Miao Research Centre is the base for the final phase of my panda quest. I have a crack team helping me. These men have become my friends. All are expert giant panda trackers. We don't have many days left. Team leader Mr. Liang briefs us on search areas. Everybody has a cell phone or radio, so if a panda is found, I'll know about it.
Let's go.
Okay.
We split up into groups. Autumn is a good time to encounter pandas here. They're descending from their remote summer feeding grounds to winter on lower slopes. We focus our search on a particular bamboo thicket where Mr. Zhang, one of the trackers, has found recent evidence of pandas.
Mr. Zhang's seen many panda feeding areas, but this is the first fresh one that I've seen. You can see here where the leaves have been nibbled off. It would seem, if you were a panda, this would be a completely idyllic existence. Just sitting here, surrounded by food, stretching out, put leaves and shoots into your mouth. But of course, it's not quite like that. Bamboo has such little goodness. Pandas have to sit here for hour after hour every day just to get enough energy to survive. They can never lay down fat to hibernate during the winter like some other bears. They have to feed for 365 days of the year, rain or shine, snow or ice.
So bamboo is vital for the survival of pandas. But have you ever stopped to think about bamboos themselves? They're an extraordinary group of plants. For an unusual bird's eye view of bamboo, we've brought a special piece of gear. The assembly of the crane is an east-west collaboration. As well as being panda experts, the trackers can now count themselves as camera assistants too. With the camera on board, the team have liftoff. The camera flies up and over, in and around stands of bamboo that are 10 metres tall.
I've been trekking through bamboo for days now. In their own way, bamboos are just as remarkable as the pandas that feed on them. They're the fastest growing plants on Earth. In a single day, they can grow 60 centimetres. That's the equivalent of 3 chopsticks end to end. One record-breaking bamboo shoot surged skyward 121 centimetres in 24 hours. The equivalent growth rate in a single day of a human child over its first 10 years of life.
Bamboos are actually thick-stemmed grasses. There are over 1,000 species, of which giant pandas will eat 40 or so.
Stands of bamboo in Foping can be hard to see through and into. That's why we've got our work cut out to find a giant panda in the wild.
The pandas certainly have a beautiful home. Once in a while, it's a pleasure to stop and soak up the scenery.
The tracker's gone on ahead looking for evidence of panda. It's great just to have some quality time enjoying the bamboo forest. There's so many creatures that rely on it. There's a spectacled fulvetta singing over there. And I can hear and see a barred laughing thrush.
These songsters are only found in a small part of central China. It's time to rejoin the trackers. I haven't heard from them, so I presume they haven't had any luck yet. Over 1,500 species of creature make this forest their home. And one of its smaller denizens has surreptitiously snuck a lift on my leg. I don't even realise that this hitchhiker is eating me alive. My stowaway only comes to light in the evening when I return to base.
Back from a hard day panda trekking to drink a cup of tea, and then I find there's something drinking from me. I didn't even feel the leech bite me. It would have searched for blood close to the surface of my skin, then used semicircular jaws armed with teeth to saw into my flesh. I don't want to interrupt its meal. I've got a sneaking admiration for leeches. With their delicate fluid-filled bodies, they can track down prey
and swell to 3 times their size.
I'm sure the leech enjoyed a meal of me. It started out as a long, stringy thing. Now it's a big, fat, blood-filled balloon. Leeches can't transmit any diseases when they bite, but the only downside to feeding them is this. The anticoagulant in their saliva is so good, I'll be bleeding for the next 12 hours or so. I'm going to release it back into the forest. Off you go. Whee!
The bloodletting seems to have given me an appetite. Time for one of Hoey Shah's delicious meals, conjured up with delicacies from the forest. None of us are disheartened. Everybody feels that a panda will show itself any day now. Tomorrow we'll try a new patch of forest. But first, it's time for something completely different.
In China, they really adore their ornamental fish. When I was in Beijing, I went to the most extraordinary aquarium shop.
Inside, there was a world of wonders. Fish from all over the world. Amazonian arowana, African cichlids. Fish in colours and varieties I'd never seen before. Tens of thousands of them. A garfish with gorgeous gouramis, especially bred to be pretty in pink and white. Arowana as silvered as mirrors. Then the prize specimen here, a dragonfish from Asia. A symbol of good luck in China, this one is worth thousands of pounds. Koi carp can be expensive too. A top fish can be more than £10,000. But when I see a wild panda, the feeling of elation will be priceless. I still have faith that touching the sacred elephant's leg will make fortune smile on me. But I'm not totally relying on luck. Tomorrow I have a secret weapon that will boost my chance of success. Could this be the day? After the break, we have a panda in our sights. I can see it just ahead. I'm on a panda adventure in central China. I visited a sacred mountain where Tibetan macaques harassed tourists and mugged me.
Hey!
Inside the Long Life Temple, a giant statue is famed for granting a wish to anyone who touches its leg.
There we go. Please help me find a wild panda.
The sacred elephant hasn't worked its magic yet. I haven't met any pandas, only a little vampire. This leech made a meal of me.
Off you go. Whee!
I found out bamboo thickets are beautiful, but they're perfect panda hideouts too.
Panda. You can see the leaves rustling. It's the best chance yet.
On that occasion, moving bamboo leaves were all that we saw, so my panda quest continues. It's time to bring in the big guns. These men are my secret weapons.
Today I'm with Mr. He and Mr. Zhang. They're both experienced panda trackers. Between them, they've got 30 years' experience.
Their know-how soon pays dividends.
What's this?
We don't need to speak the same language. This is a panda rubbing post. All the moss and lichen has been worn away. Rub their bum, yeah? There's another panda rubbing post here. This must be a very popular ridge for them. But these areas are more than just a place where pandas come to scratch and itch. My nose isn't sensitive enough, but if I was a panda, I'd get a lot of information from smelling that patch there. Pandas have scent glands on their behinds, just underneath the tail. They rub their bottoms on these patches, use their tails like little paintbrushes to paint chemicals in a patch on the tree. This scent patch is a calling card for other pandas in the area. Now we must move as quietly as we can and keep our voices to a whisper. There's evidence that this is a favourite feeding spot for pandas.
Oh, panda dropping. Look. Look here. It's a scarab beetle, a dung beetle. I think it's a coincidence that it's here, even though they feed on dung. This stuff is like no other dung I've ever seen or smelled. It smells like freshly mown hay. It's hardly processed at all. If this beetle did feed on panda dung, it would have a life of Riley. There's about 70 pandas in Phobing Reserve. They do 100 droppings every day. That's 7,000 mils. I'm sure the dung beetle's more interested in horse or cow droppings. It prefers more processed dung. Let's see what happens.
Even though I've disturbed it, if the beetle relishes panda dung, it'll start carving it up to provide food for its grubs.
As I thought, beetle had no interest in panda dung at all. It's just scurrying away.
This isn't the first dung trail I've followed. Last time it ended in disappointment. Will this attempt have a different result? In case a panda's close, I move as quietly as I can. But in these thickets of bamboo, that's easier said than done.
If you think of a panda, they're squat and barrel-shaped. It's the perfect design for moving under arched bamboo. I'm not that shape, so moving quickly under fallen locks of bamboo is very difficult.
Mr. Herr has stopped, so why can I still hear moving bamboo ahead of me? It must be a panda, at last.
We're so close that you can hear the panda breathing. Make those really loud calls. But it's still too dense to get a view of the animal. We're waiting, hoping that the panda will come out into the open. Trackers know that if a bamboo cane cracks, that's the end of this.
To the panda, that would be like a rifle shot, and it would run away.
Nailed right in some panda poo. It may have special significance. This may have been dropped by the first panda I'm ever going to see in the wild. It's certainly fresh. My knee feels warm.
I can see it just ahead.
You can hear it feeding. This is so exciting. See the bamboo thrashing and an handkerchief-sized piece of black and white fur. My first view of a wild panda. She's moving. Panda's moving. I can see the back.
pandas can walk quickly if they want to. We only catch up with her when she stops to feed. There, I can see her face through a gap. She's looking at us. I keep saying she, but I can't be sure if the panda's a boy or a girl. Males are a tad larger than females, but otherwise the sexes look exactly the same. I'm looking at the face of a panda in the wild. A dream fulfilled, but now my appetite's been whetted for a closer encounter. It can't happen with this panda. There's a deep valley between us. She's gone. My first wild panda disappears behind a bamboo curtain, but it's a tremendous relief to have seen her or him. With so few wild pandas left, there was no guarantee I'd see one at all. I owe a huge debt of thanks to the expert trackers, and who knows, perhaps the sacred elephant. Now for some other Chinese specialities that live near Panda HQ. To get to grips with them, I'll need these. The giant panda is of course the big draw here at Foping, but there are lots of other smaller mammals that are really fascinating. You only see them if you trap them. Here's my bait mixture here. There's some earthworm chunks, yummy. Some peanuts and some leftovers from dinner. Some noodles and a little bit of rice. Now in case it gets cold in the night, I've also got some bedding news. Oh! Not going to tear that one up. Look, there's an article here about our filming at the Chengdu Panda Base. I'm going to keep that as a souvenir for my mum. The newspapers to keep them warm in case it gets cold in the night. If they walk over the threshold, there we go. Now I've got to place these where I've got the best chance of catching creatures of the night. I'm going to hedge my bets by placing the traps in a wide variety of different habitats. Vegetable gardens are often good places for small mammals, so I'm going to leave one of the traps here. Try another over here. There we go. I'll put the rest in the forest. This looks a likely place for a rodent run, so I'm going to nestle this trap in there. I'm pretty sure that any creature I catch here will be something I've never seen before. There's nothing I can do until tomorrow except think about animals that scurry in the moonlight. Strange shrews, or perhaps even a niviventa. This is so exciting. There's so many peculiar small mammals here in Foping. Out there in the night, some of them may be springing my traps. The next morning, a low sun illuminates other traps in the grass. Most of the spider's webs are perfect without a single silken strand out of place. These traps haven't been sprung by insects blundering into them. If I do have better luck than the spiders, I've got a pocket full of poly bags. Small mammals move so fast they can jump with alacrity, so the best way to have a good look at them is to tip them into one of these bags. The other thing I've got to avoid is being bitten. Some rats and mice can transmit diseases to people. Will there be mammals in the maize and marrow patch? A trap that's been tripped. Inside this one, I don't need polythene bags for this. This is one I was really hoping we'd catch.
Look at that. This is a Chinese mole shrew. The reason I don't need the polythene bags for this little creature, shrews are insectivores, not rodents, and as far as I know, they can't transmit diseases to humans like rats and mice can. And even though this is a ferocious predator, its little teeth can barely break the skin of a human. Little Squeak there, one of the only shrews that's adapted to live a subterranean life. Wonderful soft velvety fur. See why it's called a mole shrew? It looks like a cross between a shrew and a mole. Lovely pink nose, tiny little eyes. They don't need to see very well. They spend most of their time underground or foraging underneath leaf litter. Use those noses to smell out worms and other insects. Shrews are ruled by their stomachs. I've got a worm here, so if we're lucky, we can see him eat a meal before he disappears back into the forest.
My manhandling certainly hasn't put him off his food. Shrews are always on the go. They use up so much energy they would starve to death after just a few hours without food.
He's really chowing down on the earthworm. Can't believe he can eat all of it.
He may do, though. Shrews need to eat almost their own body weight in food every 24 hours.
Hasn't finished away, he goes. Burrowing so quickly. In the soil in a flash. That mole shrew was charming. Let's see if we've caught anything else. Ah, nothing in that one. You can't win them all. Nothing in this one. This one's been sprung. I wonder what's inside. It's always exciting, this. Oh, a jumper, a niviventa. You wait till you see this. Most of us, when we think of rats, we think of black rats and brown rats, but there's many other rats. There we go. This is a classic niviventa, so you can see this amazing demarcation between the brown fur on the upper body and the creamy white tummy below. There are 17 species of niviventas in the world. 10 of them live in China, so niviventas are a Chinese speciality. This one's probably one of this year's young, born in the spring. They grow a bit larger than this. See how relaxed he is? He's feeding on a peanut in the back. I'm not a great fan of rats, but this is a beautiful one. Let's let you go now.
An elegant and well-turned-out rat. After the break, a panda encounter that takes my breath away. Central China's beautiful Foping Reserve. I've seen one panda here, but I'm desperate for a closer look. Head tracker Mr. Liang gets a thrilling call.
Panda, baby, 1 kilometer.
Sounds like there's a report of a mother and baby about 1 kilometre away. Hopefully they're still there. Gotta move fast on this one. We don't know how long she's going to be there. If she's got a cub, that would be amazing. If she is still there, the trackers will be watching her from a tree.
Hooray, Mr. Lee has climbed up to keep an eye on the pandas.
I've got to be very quiet now. I think the panda, maybe the cub, are just down there.
There they are, just 10 metres away. wildest dreams. There's a female panda suckling her cub. This is extraordinary. Because we're above them, Mum can't smell us. She's totally relaxed. We're not disturbing this rare animal at all. She's looking right at me. That face must be the most famous face in the whole animal kingdom. There's only around 1,800 of these animals left in the world. What a privilege this is for me. It's definitely suckling. I can hear its little cries. I just can't quite get a look at the cub. It's always shielded by the female. I'd give anything to see the baby. You know, sometimes when you follow a dream and you eventually fulfill it, it's a letdown. But I tell you what, meeting a wild giant panda is one of the most magical experiences of my whole life. Mum and baby are sleeping now. I'm going to leave as quietly as I arrived, so as not to disturb them. If only I'd seen the cub. 2 pandas in 2 days. Perhaps the elephant leg really did work its magic. But I suspect it's the experience of Mr. Zhang and Mr. He that really made the difference. We're certainly going to celebrate tonight. What a great day! Fruits are drying outside Mr. Zhang's farm, soon to be the venue for a traditional Chinese banquet. Inside, Mrs. Zhang is busy preparing a fabulous feast. Look at this! What a spread! Fantastic! Whoa. I don't drink. I'm usually teetotal, but it would be rude not to join in. After a toast or two with hot maize wine, I'm a little sozzled. I really feel on top of the world, surrounded by all my Chinese friends. I've seen a wild panda, got very close to one. As far as we know, a host has never been filmed with a wild panda before. I'll tell you what, this is one of the happiest moments of my life. Kanpei! Thank you very much. Cheers. I'm getting used to this tipple. It's been a thrilling day for me. I hope you can join me next time on Panda Adventure. We track down the cub. This is beyond my wildest imaginings. It's a rare kind of panda that isn't black and white, the first ever filmed. Back at Chengdu Panda Base, I say farewell to the first cubs that touched me. And in San Diego, Yunzi, the cub we saw being born, ventures outside for the first time. He seems to climb well, but then... See you soon for another Panda Adventure.